Y'all, we are live on the courthouse steps, just to let y'all know. I'm not in my mama's basement, right? With the wall painted gray. We are live on the steps. It is a miserable, damp New York day. Shout out to Mel, watching the world, for loaning me his umbrella so I could actually go live and bring y'all the truth. Okay, so what's going on? I'm back. So anyway, y'all, let's get into this. What's going on? Diddy wants everybody's testimony thrown out. It's actually really shocking, appalling, but actually kind of silly that Diddy wants everybody's money thrown. He wants everybody's testimony thrown out. I'm not joking. He started with Dr. Hughes. Then he wants Cassie's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Kid Cudi's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Capricorn Clark's testimony thrown out. Listen, again, at the end of the day, we actually need to talk about this. A lot of Diddy supporters said they couldn't support the RICO. A lot of people said they couldn't support the crime. A lot of people said it's just domestic violence. But I think Diddy's proven time and time again that he cannot win this case on the facts. So he needs to win it by trial by ambush. Tell me what innocent man that is guilty of a RICO needs everybody's testimony thrown out. Now, let me just be real. It's not going to happen because Diddy's team is also, I feel like they're looking the way things hit on social media, and then they're coming and they're like, objection. But a lot of that testimony, they should have objected in that real time. Let's talk about Capricorn Clark. He wants everything thrown out about the kidnapping. Hey, how are you? Good morning. Hey, SLW, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I ran out the house to bring y'all the news. Let's see if I can make it through. So listen, so the Capricorn Clark, he wants the kidnapping thrown out. He wants the part about saying he was going to murk her thrown out. He wants the abuse thrown out. He wants what she saw beating Cassie. Kid Cudi. He wants Kid Cudi's entire testimony thrown out about when he met, what he said, and also what Kid Cudi knew that Diddy was going to do. Also, the way Kid Cudi thought that Diddy was going to murk him. Cassie's testimony. He wants Cassie's testimony thrown out about the abuse and about the fact that she couldn't leave. Also, Deontay, he just testified. He wants Deontay's testimony thrown out. Y'all, what's going on in Diddy land? Let me tell y'all something. This is some desperate antics. When you can't win on the facts, you will win on trying to silence people. But to me, this is just a holdover from the way Diddy is. Diddy has made a career out of silencing people. Now, before, he was using, according to some people, guns, he was using threats, he was using whatever. Now Diddy has graduated and he is no longer silencing people with guns or threats. He is now using his legal team. Imagine paying at this point almost $15 to $17 million, and all you can do is say, I want everybody's testimony thrown out. Now let me tell you something. I was in the court yesterday. Judge Aaron is tired of Diddy's team and tired of Diddy's team's games. Baby, it was the cross they're going to pick up with Deontay. They told him that they would be done by 4. Judge Aaron went because he's very respectful to the jury and very accommodating to the defense. I think a little bit too accommodating because they be playing in his face. Cass Forever says, good morning, gorgeous. I'm in Puerto Rico now and the beaches have an oil spill. What? Oh, no. Listen. So Judge Aaron said, listen, if you think he's like, do you think this is going to run over? He likes things running, like a finely tuned clock. He was like, yo, do you think things are going to run over? They're like, no, Your Honor, we'll be finished with this witness, Deontay Nash. Diddy got bodied by a cutie patootie. We'll get into his testimony in a second. I had stuff to do yesterday, so we had to stop that live. But don't worry, I'll be back talking about everything tonight. We were going to have several lives. We're just going to keep going. It's going to be a telethon, a marathon. But anyway, getting back to Deontay Nash, this is where Judge Aaron lost it. He said earlier, are y'all going to be done by 4? He said, yeah. He said, okay, if y'all going to be done by 4. And they said Mia will take the stand today. Deontay took all day. They said they think Mia's going to take all day. And then when Mia's done, they're going to have a detective or something, right? So they said, are you going to be done by 4? They said, yes, Your Honor, absolutely. He said, all right, I'm going to tell the jury to stay. They said, yeah, you do that. We got it. Bet. He then told the jury to stay. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, the jury, I know this is a long trial, but if you can just stay by 4, this is going to help you guys get out of here overall earlier. The jury was like, fine, I guess, because the direct for Deontay Nash was so good. It was damning to Diddy. It really brought into focus that Cassie was a hostage. Deontay also rep for his set when they were like, yeah, Miss Ventura. And he was like, you mean Miss Fine? And Diddy, because he was like, yeah, oh yeah, she's married now. And Diddy was just sitting there grimacing. You still mad that Cassie moved on and got a healthy baby boy and 2 kids that love her? Diddy, grow up. But you're going to have a lot of time to rethink your ways in jail. So anyway, right? They were like, okay, you got. The jury was like, I guess, because the cross-examination was so meandering. It was literally giving, this is a big waste of time. It was giving, you got nothing, but you're just trying to run out the clock. And you think it's funny after you told the judge that you would wrap it up quickly and that the jury would stay. You think it's funny. They spent 7 minutes him trying to define what a celebrity stylist is. Like, man, stop it. Also, I'm sick of everybody acting like Capricorn Clark, Deontay, Cassie, that Diddy had people around him that were bums. Diddy literally always preyed on people. He preyed on people that were super talented, almost like a subjectivist, that he could literally grab some of their star power and make it work for himself. It's just a mess. You know what I'm saying? Valerie Watkins said, good morning. Keep up the awesome reporting. Stay safe and God bless. Thank you so much. And Peggy said, hey, Diva, thank you for coming back to New York with our bipolar weather. Much love. This weather is more bipolar than Diddy. Anyway, right? Let's get back into the thing. So they were starting to run out the clock because even though the court said that they were like in a rush, even though the court said that they needed to do stuff, they literally started just like running out the clock. And I was like, okay, sure, right? They started running out the clock and I'm like, okay, fine. Hi guys, I'm back. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. My phone was ringing. All right. So anyway, they started playing in the judge's face, taking too long, doing this, doing that. The judge didn't know what was going on. The judge probably finally flipped out on them and said, what are you doing? You told me you'd be done by 4. This is disrespectful of the jury's time. This is disrespectful of my time, and I'm not going to do it. They then realized they went too far playing in the judge's face, and they were like, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm sorry. We're going to wrap this up. The judge was like, no, you don't get to do that. If you knew, hi, thank you. Okay, I had to DoorDash an umbrella. Okay, I just got my delivery. So anyway, they were like, if you knew, right? If you knew that you were going to be doing all this stuff, then why did you make me take the jury? Again, the judge, Aaron sees, he was yelling at the defense saying, y'all never put anything in time. You never give the correct exhibits. You never do what you say you're supposed to do. What are we really doing here? The defense is clutching at straws. Who said that? Rotorier. The defense is clutching at straws. And anybody that believes Diddy at this point or is fighting for him, you must feel stupid because you are on the losing team. I told y'all in the beginning what it was going to be. Bronco DeBoz, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Laura Smith said, you're a blessing. Thank you so much. So let me just tell y'all, right? Cherry Bomb said, you're the journalist. Cream rising to the top. Love your personality and intelligence. Oh, you guys, thank you. Listen. I can't stress enough to everybody how, in my opinion, disrespectful Diddy's legal team has been to the court from the beginning. They have played in the face. They have tried to slut shame witnesses. They have repeatedly misrepresented themselves time and time again to the judge as to what they are, what they can do, time limits. They don't care about the jury's time. They don't care about anyone. Why? I do believe that the defense is being run entirely by Sean Diddy Combs. This is where you see Diddy's, in my opinion, narcissism come out. This is where you see his vindictive nature. This is where you see that he feels like he is still that billionaire mogul calling the shots. And his team is helping him. Of course, they're getting paid. If somebody was paying me $17 million, would I represent a monster? Probably not, but I would consider it. I would take the call. I would take the call. I would see what's going on. Like, hello, Satan? Yeah. You know what? No. We're not going to do that with my soul, but thank you. Thank you for your inquiry, right? Listen. Diddy is not going to walk, y'all. You're not, listen, I don't care what media outlets are telling you. Just because you request for, do you realize that Diddy requested that all the testimony from the last week be struck from the record? Are you insane? Do y'all think just because lawyers ask for shit, they're gonna get it? If that's the case, I would like Mark Agnifilio to make a motion for me to be a billionaire and get someone to hold my umbrella over me and hire me some interns. Like, do you honestly think just because a defense attorney asks for something, they're going to get it? They are grasping at straws. They have always been grasping at straws. Nobody really cares. But the fact that Nakia, the explorer, thank you. The fact that like the defense team is just doing it so much that the judge is getting very, very short patience with their antics. So Judge Aaron has been exceedingly accommodating to the point that the prosecution has been super, 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 super mad at him for quite a while. He has been exceedingly accommodating. And the fact that they pulled that mess, we got to go back in there and listen to them ask Deontay, does he know the definition of celebrity stylist socks? And don't get me wrong, the lawyer Xavier is really good, but you get the fact that Diddy doesn't have anything to stand on. Again, I still don't understand how these people saying Diddy's gonna walk. Do y'all honestly think that he's gonna get 5 days of testimony struck when he didn't object to any of the testimony while he was there? And what does he want struck? The fact that he was running a RICO organization. Angel Sessions said, love you much, Tisa. You're doing an awesome job. Praying for you all the way. Thank you so much, guys. Mercedes 35862 said, welcome to the Tattles family. Bronco the Boss said they're trying to prosecute him without bringing up the kids who also were raised by Ali Carter spoke about. Natural Diva said, witness number 3 is Gina. She's not showing up. So about the Ali Carter stuff, I'm waiting to see if she is called to testify. Even though I will say one thing, the prosecution has made it clear people that did too much media will not be called to testify. Not necessarily because they're not being truthful, but because they know that Diddy's team is going to make it a spectacle. Back Alley Scam Chat said, wait until they show videos of Diddy admitting crimes. He's cooked. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if they have videos of that, but I will say this, right? I think that they're getting Diddy on the Al Capone. I've talked to a lot of people that knew Diddy back in the day and now. They said Diddy is dangerous. They said Diddy has done so much. They said Diddy is not to be effed with. Okay? And I think what's going on with Diddy might be what went on with Al Capone. Cog Norman said, no need for a shout out, just a thank you. Oh, Cog Norman, well, you getting a thank you and a shout out, right? Don't let these people bully you into silence. Thank you, Cog Norman, for the super chat. But listen to me, right? You know how Al Capone was, he was a crime boss. He had blood all over Chicago. Everybody knew it. But he had everybody scared, shook. People were lying. So what did he do? The federal government said, what are you doing illegally? And they found out that he was evading taxes. And they said, that's how we're going to take this down. You getting off these Chicago streets, whether we have to do it through taxes or whether we have to do it for someone else. With Diddy, forget the taxes. They getting him. Don't forget this trial investigation was supposed to take 2 years. I know in 2003, everybody's like, Tisa, you lying. Diddy ain't on the investigation. I said, y'all, federal investigations don't do quick. Hey, good morning. Hey, what's up, guys? Federal investigations take 2 to 3 years. They want to make sure they take you down for everything. That's why Diddy rushed for this speedy trial that he is now complaining about. The federal investigations, he rushed the trial, so they had to wrap it up. So they couldn't look into what was going on in Belize, what was going on with those money transfers, what was going on with that wire fraud, what was going on with the possible embezzlement, what was going on with the possible dope boy connect. They had to rush that down. So what did they do? They said, well, we know you sex trafficking. We know you running a RICO organization. We know you doing this and that. Let's get them on that. And guess what? All these charges carry life. So do we really need to get you double and triple life? Nah, we'll just get you life. And that's what they're doing. People said that, like, yeah, Diddy is vile. But the government is not trumping up these charges. These are real charges. He's actually guilty of it. But it's not everything he's guilty of. And that's what Diddy's really mad about. And now he's going against the Southern District of New York, one of the most corruption-free, well-oiled legal machines. He's going up there and he's bringing this Fulton County corruption nonsense into this very, very reputable Northeast federal courtroom. Again, Brian Still, great attorney, Westmoreland, Xavier, they basically are the dream team. But part of the reason Young Thug got off is because Fulton County was so corrupt. Fulton County was so corrupt that of course they were going to get off, right? And I know he got him a plea deal, but that plea deal was Fulton County saving face, because the plea deal was time served and let that Mo out when he should have been in jail, under the jail, based on the evidence, my opinion, right? Anyway, I'm a Survivor said, good morning, been watching you for 3 years, only watching you about this trial. You're going to blow up in Jesus' name. Thank y'all so much. Again, You guys, when people say the government, oh, they just, no. They took the easiest things they could get him to get locked up for life. But they have him dead to rights when it comes to sex trafficking. They have him dead to rights when it comes to kidnapping, arson, coercion. You know what the crazy thing I was thinking? I think it's wild that he did all that stuff with Kid Cudi, and who knows how many other people he did. But Kid Cudi is what they could prove, right? And now all that stuff he did, even standing outside the Soho House looking out the window like a Marvel supervillain, to quote Kid Cudi, all of that is now, could you imagine doing dirt? And he's done so much dirt. And the one thing that they could do is you now getting caught up. Again, this is what they could prove. It's not everything he did. And now you're trying to get 5 days of testimony thrown out, and your supporters are like, oh, it's gonna work. Diddy's getting a mistrial. Is he? Is he really? Tony Murray Cook said, thank you for your coverage. I love getting Diddy updates from you. Hi from Sydney, Australia. Hi to y'all. But honestly, Mia's testifying today. There's going to be a lot of argument in the courtroom. I'm going to run down 2 or 3 times, as many times as I can, to give y'all updates, but I don't want to miss any of Mia's testimony. And I think Deontay is finishing up today on the cross, and then the redirect, and it's probably going to be a recross. But yeah, y'all, again, keep in mind, they got Diddy. And anybody says they don't, you don't understand what's going on in the courtroom, or maybe Diddy's team got to them, because let's not forget, Diddy owned a lot of media coverage. Ask yourself why he shot somebody allegedly in the bathroom and Channel News didn't even say about it. Ask yourself why we never heard about the arson. Ask yourself why fingerprint cards disappeared. They're trying to get that stricken from the record. Even though, I gotta say, the prosecution did that, because can you unring a bell? I mean, the jury can. But at the end of the day, ask yourself why all these things are happening. And ask yourself, look at the people that think that holding people hostage, beating them to death, doing this, doing that, assaulting people, holding people at gunpoint, running up at people's houses and beating up them and their friends. If anybody thinks that's acceptable, normal behavior, then you need to get away from them, because baby, you are not safe. Man or woman, you are not safe. Queen Reen said, good morning, Tisa. I'm here for all of it. And Nakia the Explorer said, Farnsworth should come up in court for stealing the jewelry, not Capricorn Clark. Listen, you want to hear something? I don't think Farnsworth stole that jewelry. The way that Diddy never said it, but then again, Diddy be making people disappear, but the way Diddy never said anything about it. Liz Pope, thank you so much for the super chat. That stolen jewelry they tried to pin on Capricorn Clark, I don't even know if the jewelry was ever stolen. I think Diddy, when he goes through all his employees, I think he does like some psychological torture to make sure it's some type of loyalty test. At the end of the day, when Capricorn Clark met him, she was young, she was eager, she was talented. Back then in the industry, they really didn't give black and brown people a chance in the industry, or Asian, right? A chance in the record industry. I think she was talented. I think she was young, but I also think she was fragile. She was an orphan from the age of 17. Her parents had issues with drugs, so you know there was drama even before then. She literally wanted someone to see her self-worth. She wanted to be part of a family. She wanted to be part of a bigger thing. And I find that everybody Diddy hired has the same thing. They wanted to be a part of the family. They wanted something to be a part of a bigger purpose. They wanted to actually feel like they were somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? So Diddy took advantage of that. And the fact that everybody's acting like Diddy gave a bunch of bums. Capricorn Clark was on top of her game. Everything she touched turned to gold. Cassie, one of the biggest stars. She had Me and You top, and then she had the biggest mixtape of the year. Big model. You look at Kid Cudi. Well, Kid Cudi wasn't in his harem, but you know what I'm saying. You look at Deontay, one of the baddest stylists out there, and a cutie patootie to boot. He only picked top-level talent, and then he exploited it. And now he's trying to act like he literally took people out the gutter. And even if he did, Nunja Business, thank you so much. And even if you did take people out the gutter, does that give you the right to terrorize them? No. Does that give you the right to terrorize them? Hold on. Let me fix this. Does that give you the right to terrorize them? Does that give you the right to do all this? Sorry, guys. I need to see that close. I dropped something, right? Listen, does that give you a right? Because you are paying someone's rent, does that give you a right to beat you mercilessly? You guys, people that accept that, you are talking about slavery. Because I pay for you, because I give you money, I can beat you to abandon. I can force you to do freak offs. Like, I get it. And this is what I've been saying the whole trial. And we need to change this. And I will always say, just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Just because somebody will let me spit in their face, beat them to a pulp, leave them bloody on the street, Yeah, that person should love themselves more. That person should be like, Tisa, you're not gonna beat me up. You're not gonna trip. That person should. But if they don't, why do I feel like I have the right to do that? Who told these men and women that they are gods walking among men and they can do as what they please as long as somebody allows it? Who gave you the right? You are not God. You do not have the right to treat God's children. If you believe in the universe children, if you believe in energy, you do not have the right to treat a living being like that. I don't care if they let you or not. You don't have the right. And I know they're trying to say, oh, this is just about sex. You can't tell people what to do in the bedroom. Baby, this was not about sex. It was about manipulation, control, violence, coercion. It was about slavery. It was about slavery. And the fact that somebody, a black man or a black person, I'm not even calling Diddy a man, a black demon was literally, right? Actually, let's take the black off of Diddy, the demon, right? Was doing this. And everybody was saying, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, because they wanted money, they this. Where did you go wrong in your life? Did you really think that somebody's body, somebody's spirit, somebody's time is worth a few pieces of gold? Who made you God? Just because, again, I will always say this, and I hope in the 20th century, we move into a thing where it's like, just because you can does not mean you should. Just because I can invade a country and cleanse it doesn't mean I should. It doesn't mean I have the right. When are we going to start putting limits on the demons? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, did anybody thinks, AK Rigger said, thanks for your time doing this great job. Thank you so much. Listen, let me tell you something. Show business is a deviant business. Anytime money is around, it's a deviant business. Looking the way people are reacting to the Diddy trial, I now see how slavery was allowed to exist. Because at the end of the day, if it benefits people and puts them in a better situation, they really don't care. As long as it's not their children, as long as it's not their things, they honestly really don't care. In any case, listen, we got Mia on the ones and twos. She's going to be testifying. Diddy is trying to get all the testimony from earlier this week and last week. All of it he wants to struck. It's unfair that people can talk. But again, this is how Diddy built his empire. He was never innocent. The only thing he could do was that he could use his money, power, and influence to silence the victims. And I'm glad that the Southern District of New York is holding the good fight and sending a message, not just to Diddy, but to any billionaire or anybody with money, power, influence that thinks that they can use people as rag dolls, to think that they can literally be the tyranny of evil men. I'm glad they're turning around and saying, no, you cannot happen. Again, I know I'm on my soapbox preaching, but there is something bigger going on. There is something very much deeper going on at the Diddy trial. And the people that don't understand what is at play, the people that don't understand, they're not awake emotionally. Their minds are not awake. Their souls are not awake. They are just not awake. This Diddy trial is bigger than what happened with Cassie. This Diddy trial is literally saying, if you have money, power, and influence, what is the limits to the way you can treat someone? Now, never mind that at the end of the day, it was RICO. It was sex trafficking. It was all those things. It 100% was. But at the end of the day, justice is being served. And Diddy, everybody's saying he is dirty, highly dangerous, done a lot of things. And however the government can get him off the streets, good. It's like Al Capone. Did Al Capone have blood all over Chicago streets? Absolutely. Did they get him on tax evasion? Absolutely. Did that put him in jail forever? Absolutely. Were they lying about him being a tax evasion? No. Were they lying about what he did? No. Did he commit the tax evasion crime? Absolutely. They're saying the same thing has happened with Diddy. They're not trumping up charges. Diddy is guilty. And I want to hear any Diddy supporter or anyone. And also, please normalize. Anybody can ask for a motion to a mistrial. Anybody can file a motion saying we want all this testimony stricken. But at this point, I think they're doing this just to make Diddy. I think they're doing this just to make Diddy feel better, just to twiddle their thumbs, because at the end of the day, they don't got money. Listen, Diddy thinks he's above the law. He thinks he's above God. He thinks he's above the universe. Again, I don't care what your religious faith is. I don't care if you're spiritual. I don't care if you think that at the end of the day, this all goes away. That's really up to you. I am saying that there is something in the universe, whoever you think created the universe, that the arc always bends to good. And that's why these tyranny of evil men always got to find a way to bend the bark over to it, to back to them. Anyway, y'all, let me get in the courtroom. We are about to go inside. Get ready for my multiple updates. I am done preaching, but listen, Diddy is done. And the people that are still supporting him, and after the testimony, acting like what he did was no big deal, you got to start side-eyeing him. And listen, Betty Boop, thank you so much. You said speaking the truth, thank you. In any case, you guys, let me get out of here. I'm going into the court. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.